Greetings, everybody. I am Lobo, and welcome to Luna. This is episode 187 of my Minecraft survival series, and a lot of stuff has been going on here in Luna lately, especially with regard to the Enchantry. And for good reason, right? But we have other stuff we need to do as well. For instance, we need to go ahead and continue carving out all this land that surrounds Luna. And today we're especially going to focus on this piece of land that separates Luna from the Enchantry Island, which I have been referring to as an island, but as you can see here, due to this little narrow strip of land, not actually an island. So, before I continue to use the wrong terminology when referring to this place, what do you say we just go ahead and make it an island? So if we can get some water flowing through here, oh, that's perfect. Look at this mighty river that separates Enchantry Island from the rest of the land. Perfect. So right now I'm just kind of sectioning off the area I want to focus on today, and I'm not saying we're going to be able to get rid of all of this, like everything within these torches, but we're going to try our best to do so. But this is going to be a lot of areas. So it's kind of hard to see the torches, but you can kind of see this line over here. It just follows a straight line on over this way, then makes a sharp left into a tree, and then continues on down to the water over there. Ow! Once again, everything hurts. So the main thing I want to focus on within this area is obviously going to be this mountain right here. This thing is going to be the first to go. Look at this odd couple over here. Look at this. Look at these guys, like the best of friends going for a swim. We're going to leave them alone for the time being. Right now, I'm just kind of preparing the land. First things first, we need to make sure that this place is well lit because, you know, obviously the tearing out of land will occur over several in-game days and nights. We don't need to be attacked while we're doing this. So, yeah, just bear with me. Give me a few minutes. I'll be back with you in just a little bit. So there we go. Hopefully that's enough. Hopefully that's enough. It's not going to be like 100% spawn-proofed or anything like that, but hopefully that's enough light to make sure we, you know, survive this process. Now we're going to need a convenient place to store all these blocks. And by all these blocks, I'm actually referring to everything on the outside of Luna here, because all this stuff is eventually going to have to go. So I want to put it somewhere that's going to be convenient to get to from this side of Luna with easy access to our storage system, right? So if you guys will remember, our storage system basically runs underground like this way. So I figure if we put in like a giant mass of unorganized chests somewhere, say about right here, it should be easy enough to eventually get an input to the storage system built. And then we can, you know, put those away later on once the storage system is upgraded enough to actually be able to handle this ridiculous amount of resources. That scared me. Did you hear that? Is that really what the fox says? That noises. Wow. So I think we're just about ready to go. So let's go ahead and call Didi on over here, put on a little bit of music, and commence the grind. Welcome back, everybody. It is break time. I'm going to take a break from this for a little while. As you can see, we carved out a pretty significant portion of the land here, and I think we're going to continue carving out, like, maybe from here to the end of the torches over there. So not everything we lined out today will be gone. You know, I'm mainly going to focus on the areas closest to the Enchantry because there is some stuff I want to build over here by the Enchantry just off the island, and we're going to focus on that in a little while. You know, now we got some room to breathe. But let's go ahead and, before we, talk about what we're going to be building, let's talk about what we just did, what we're going to be doing when we come back to this a little bit later on in the episode. So before we come back here and carve out more land, I'm going to need to mend up my tools because, as you can see, pretty much went through all my silk touch pickaxes. Shovels are all close to breaking, so mending is going to need to happen. As far as resources we've collected, well, you can just look through these and see that we do have a ton of stuff. Now, all these chests are not full. I think it ends right about here. So these last two columns of chests are empty. So basically everything from this point on down to this way is filled up. So tons and tons of resources. We'll probably at least double that before this episode is over. But yeah, we're gonna step away from this for a little while because, man, man. So now as we move on to this next project, our first order of business is to say hi to this guy. Hello. Greetings. And I guess I didn't have to bring emeralds with me, but first order of business is to go ahead and set up this haste beacon over here. That way we can carve out some additional land. Now, we talked about this a little bit in the last episode, but originally the Enchantry was supposed to be located over here outside the rotunda, but we changed up the plans a little bit. Now what we're going to have located over here, accessible through the rotunda, is a set of docks right here, and from these docks we'll be able to catch a boat that takes us over to the actual Enchantry Island, home of the Arcanine Order. And we already talked about where we're going to be placing the docks. That's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to go ahead and place the docks on the opposite side of the beast statue, on the opposite side of the hill, right here. And I'm thinking that this might be a good spot to set up the actual entrance into the Enchantry. So let's go ahead and start carving a path down here from the future side of our docks up to the Enchantry itself, because as of right now, there is no actual way to get up there outside of using rockets and elytra. So yeah, give me a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and start carving out a little bit of a tunnel. Hopefully this ends up meeting with some of the open areas we have under here, because remember, a lot of this is, custom terraformed, right? So we do have a lot of open spaces under here. It's not going to be solid. So just give me a minute. We'll see what we can do. So now we can actually see what we're dealing with. We do need to figure out a way to get up into the Enchantry itself. I'm not really quite sure where we should break ground and, really go up into it. Maybe it would make more sense to actually look at this from the top, and then we can actually determine where we should go down from the Enchantry itself rather than breaking up randomly through the ground, right? Seems to make a bit more sense. It is night. I did not bring my beds over here. This is dangerous. I'm going to need to get those. Oh, negligent discharge. That's not good. Well, it's kind of a mess in here, and it's really hard to look around and see where really anything should go. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just kind of clear out some of this junk, and then I'm going to walk around for a few minutes and try to plan some stuff out. So yeah, I'll be back with you in a little bit. All right, I have an idea. So I think we're going to make use of these side wings in order to actually get up here to place our stairways and stuff like that, because we don't need to have these open. We don't need to use these to get into the tower itself, since we can get into the tower via these openings right here, right? So I think this is where we're going to go ahead and place our stairways, both going down and up. So this one will be going down. And that's going to also benefit us when it comes to, the interior decoration of this place. We won't have to build around stairs or anything like that. We'll have the main floor basically open. So let's go ahead and carve out another little tunnel, this time heading down from the wing of the Enchantry right here, where we just were. We're going to go ahead and make our way down now and see if we can link up with that other tunnel. All right, so we've made it down here to the opening. That side is a little high up, or this side is a bit too low, probably both. So what we could do is give both of these a more gentle slope. I think they feel a little steep anyway, so yeah, that's probably necessary. So let me go ahead and explain what I'm thinking with this entrance to the Enchantry, because you might be thinking there's a better way to do this. And yes, there is, but that would be more convenient. See, everything I'm doing over here with the Enchantry is to make this a very inconvenient place to get to. You notice there's no bridges leading to this island. There's no way to get here aside from taking a boat. So aside from having to schedule your boat ride over to the Enchantry Island, getting up to the tower itself is not going to be be, you know, as simple as just walking up some stairs or something like that. You're gonna have to take a path that goes pretty much around 3/4 of the actual mountain to get up to the tower itself. And that's because the Enchantry is not supposed to be a welcoming place. As we know from the book that the book lady has been reading to us over the past couple episodes, the residents of Luna are not welcome here. We're not wanted here, right? So then you may be asking, well, why is there even a dock that leads from the Enchantry to Luna? Well, my best guess is that the Arcanine Order will probably view allowing that to be built as a mistake, you know? But, you know, that's just my guess. Time will tell. We'll have to learn more about this place. So now we have our path up to the Enchantry Tower carved through this mountain. That's exactly how I want this to feel, as if this cave was literally carved through this mountain leading up here. So obviously this area is going to have to be, you know, sealed off. The walls and stuff will be decorated. We'll add some fragmentation to them, make them look more cave-like, and probably just very dimly illuminate this with soul lanterns because, as I said, I don't want this to feel very welcoming. But before we get around to that, let's start thinking about what we want to do with our docks out here. Now, since we've used spruce elsewhere in the Enchantry, I'm thinking that's probably what we're predominantly going to be building our docks out of. And I actually want these docks to be pretty basic. I don't want there to be any real points of interest over here. I don't want it to look like, you know, it's somewhere where people should actually visit. I just want it to look like this is where a boat would dock, and that's pretty much it. Now, we're not going to build straight out. Like, I think I want to make it, like, kind of hug this little hillside right here and just kind of make the shape a little bit interesting. But aside from that, I don't really think there's going to be too much else going on with this. Now, I am going to leave a little bit of separation between the dock and the actual, like, hillside right here because, well, we got this waterfall, which we might want to do something with, maybe make come down from a little bit higher up, kind of dress up the landscape and stuff like that. But also, I don't want any mobs wandering down from the hills onto the dock because I want to feel safe here, right? So, obviously, in this area, they would be able to do that, but we'll find some way to kind of block this off, just make this whole area mob-proof. That way, we can make our way into the cave, into the Enchantry, without having to worry about getting blown up or attacked or anything like that, right? And the dock itself is on the half slab level, so that's going to be non-spawnable. These are just some of the things I'm taking into consideration here. All right, so let's go ahead and see how this looks, see what we think of it. Meh. I'm not crazy about the angles. Maybe what we should do is kind of round this off a little bit. I was thinking we should have done this, but now I'm pretty sure of it. I want to kind of round this off a little bit, make it look a little bit less uniform. So let's see how this works for us then. A little bit more squiggly. I think I like that a little bit better. I like that a little bit better. All right. So I think also I might want to add another little section of dock going off to the side here. And I'm already doing more than I initially intended to do because I didn't really want this to look like there could be more than one boat docked here at any particular time. As I said, I want it to be simple, non-inviting, but I just keep making things bigger and I can't seem to help it. But I do think it will help with the overall look of this place. I feel like it definitely helps with the feel of it, right? Feels a little bit more like we can walk around here. I don't know. We don't really want to walk around here, but let's see what, just see what it looks like, see what we think of it. I actually want to add a little bit more. I do. I think maybe another little turn off to this side would probably help this out. But then that's it. That's it. All right, I just added a tiny bit off to this side, and I have an idea for something we could do with the landscaping over here to make this section of dock make a little bit more sense, but I don't want to make it any bigger than this. I think this is probably a good size, if not a little large. So now that we've got the shape of our dock figured out, we need to go ahead and start getting the structure of it built up, so that way it's not just floating in the air. We also have the path leading up to the Enchantry planned out. We need to go ahead and get the cave built out around it. So I think what we're going to go ahead and do at this point is call DD on over, put on a little bit of music, and get to work. Welcome back, everybody. The Enchantry now has an official entrance, and if it seems like I'm taking care to say those words, I am, because I just called this the Enchantrance. And I do kind of like that, but it wouldn't have made sense unless I explained it to you. Anyway, we talked a little bit earlier about how it takes me rockets in my Elytra to get up to the Enchantry. No longer is that the case, because now I can just fly over here and see bad stuff happen to Squid. Poor Squid. This is so convenient. I know I said these docks weren't supposed to be convenient, but I mean, this is actually really convenient. I can just like fly over here, just glide, no rockets needed, which is handy because, you know, we've been building this place. We will continue to build up this place in the coming episodes. But looking at the Enchantrance over here, it does kind of remind me of another entrance to another build that we built someplace else, which may or may not be connected to the Arcanine Order in some way. I don't know. We'll have to see. But let's go ahead and make our way up to the Enchantry. We'll go slowly through this cave so you can kind of see what's been going on here. Again, I told you it was going to be kind of dark, kind of foreboding, and we carried that fragmented feel of the Enchantry down through this cave. So you can see pretty much all the walls are kind of closing in on us. We have to proceed carefully so as not to bump our head as we proceed through here. So basically, any visitors to this island will have plenty of time to think twice before actually making their way up into the tower, into the Enchantry. They'll have time to turn around. But yeah, still lots of work to do here. We still have to figure out this interior and all that stuff. That's not for this episode, though. I mean, I would love to continue working on the Enchantry, and I have some ideas, but, you know, I don't have enough time left in this episode to actually do anything of note, and I did say that we were going to continue clearing out this land over here, which must be done. It must be done. So before we get back around to this, I need to go and mend up some of my tools. So that should just about do it. All right. So, gentlemen, it has been a pleasure doing business with you as always, but we still have stuff to do. We need to get to sleep. It's bedtime. So yeah, I went to bed thinking, oh, you know what? It's always better to record in the daytime, but then it started raining. So now this is even worse than it just being dark. Excuse me, chicken, trying to do stuff here. So it is time for us to proceed with the digging. Let the digging begin. Excuse me, chicken. Excuse me. Thank you. I got stuff to do. So at this point, I'm ready to go. Dee Dee, how about you?
I am capable of performing multiple tasks simultaneously. I am always ready.
Of course you are. Of course you are. You are always ready. You are a robot after all. So we got Dee Dee over here. Let's go ahead and put on a little bit of music and get back to the dig. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. As you can see, we've got another good chunk of land taken out of here. I feel like we're kind of doing the opposite of what we should be doing, right? Like, instead of taking blocks out of chests and placing them in the world, we're taking blocks out of the world and then placing them in chests. Kind of weird, kind of counterintuitive, but it's going to be worth it, I hope, I think. Still, tons more work to do. But we are slowly but surely making a dent in this, and I feel good about the progress we made today. Of course, we carved out this bit of land. We got the Enchantrance built. And these episodes are always kind of weird because it never looks like much has been accomplished, but a whole lot has actually been accomplished. Anyway, do you see this? Look at this. The disrespect. I go through all the trouble of removing all those blocks, and we got Endermen putting down blocks where they don't belong. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous! Anyway, we did some work to the Enchantry today, and what I'm hoping is that maybe unlock yet another page in this mysterious book, written and read by this mysterious book lady, and hopefully today she gives us a little bit of information about why the Arcanine Order has taken Watchdog, and just as important, what, if anything, Wolfred has to do with this, because as you remember on the second page, a gray wolf is mentioned. Now, the only gray wolf I know of is Wolfred, and I'm kind of hesitant to even turn this page, but we do need to know, right? We do need to know. All right, page 3. Yes, okay, here we go. The builder paved over our land.
Paved the way for the gray wolf. One Wolfred Wolfens. He sought sovereignty over this land, but what jurisdiction could he have over the Arcanine Order? We thought these to be ludicrous ambitions. What fools we were.
Okay, so Wolfred is mentioned by name, but Book Lady...
Stop calling me Book Lady! I do have a name.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize this was two-way communication. What page are you on? Can we talk? Can we converse? What? I don't know what to call you. Hello? Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, Wolfred's mentioned by name, so maybe that's something we should check out. Yeah. Yeah, we'll check that out. Next episode. What in the world is going on here? This just keeps getting weirder and weirder. But I do think that that's all we have time for today, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please be sure to hit that little thumbs up button. That would mean a whole lot to me. And if you want to see more, please remember to subscribe. But as always, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out today. I deeply appreciate it. And until next time, I am Lobo, and I will see you guys later.